we need to talk about Erberth, right? What is going on with Erberth Santos right now, okay? 3 matches, 3 submission losses. Now this is from the 2017 super heavyweight black belt world champion, a guy who is one of the most feared, one of the most dynamic, one of the most aggressive grapplers in the sport, and yet the last couple of months he's looked like a different athlete. What's going on?
I mean, we have to even say the obvious here in case you have not seen these matches. He's tapping to positions, it seems. You know, Tommy Langaker's triangle Europeans, he hadn't even finished switching from holding the leg behind the head with his hand to the leg. It was not complete yet. And then at ACB, again, we see him kind of tap under mount to Adam Wardzinski. What do you guys think is going on there?
I wish I knew.
That's the million-dollar question, right? What is going on with Erberth Santos? It's hard to say.
Well, the one thing that I look at is something that changed last year. So in 2017, he was the #1 ranked competitor in the IBJJF, right? He won the world championship. So he was training then with Atos, okay? Then he leaves to Brazil and starts his own team. Okay, so now he's got all this responsibility. He's a role model to a lot of different young men down in Brazil, and potentially he has this pressure to uphold this image that he's created, and also maintain that level of excellence that he has. So maybe it was a thing. It has to do with the pressure. He's only 23 years old, right? So
it's a lot of responsibility.
Having
for
a team as a 23-year-old and setting an example for the guys below you has got to be, pretty difficult.
Well, the word on the street is, just going back to the team thing. So he was with Atos via his affiliation with Almeida Jiu-Jitsu. Kind of Almeida left High and Gracie, and they started Almeida, and then they became part of the Atos network. So, Erberth kind of went along with that, right? And it was before Worlds that he went there and he did the training camp with those guys, and he was training, and you were there, right? You were in the room. You saw him training. How did he look?
It's right. It's great. I mean, that room is a meat grinder. It's extremely tough rolls. He was winning some. He was losing some. He definitely wasn't running the show, but man, he could do some crazy stuff in there. Erberth's such an animal, such an athlete.
Well, there you go. So he's right up there with the best in the world, one of the toughest rooms in the world, and Erberth is there, and he is, there's no question about his position in sport. So, like you say, he gets back to Brazil after the Worlds, and shortly after, what happens? He leaves Almeida Jiu-Jitsu to start up his own team, ES, right? Erberth Santos, but he calls it the Esquadrão, Squadron, Erberth Squadron, okay? And he invites all these young up-and-comers to his gym in Sao Paulo. Guys from all over Brazil come there because of, his reach on social media, and he's like, posting all these photos of these guys, and he's got like a squad of like 12 guys, and they're all running around in the streets making all these crazy howling noises and stuff, right? It's like a crazy fight club kind of thing going on. They're all gone. All those guys have left. So what's going on inside Erberth's gym as well? Like, the word on the street is that he's like teaching classes to white belts now. He actually built out the academy. The gym is all set up. He's got nobody to train with. So is that a factor as to why his performance has hit like a skid? Is a severe decline as to the results right now. So I don't know. It's interesting to note whether the team factor is a thing, whether it's a lack of training partners. The question is, how does he rectify that? How does he get back to the Erberth that we know? How does he get back to that beast of a man that literally strikes fear or breaks people in the middle of matches, like just mentally breaks them?
He's got to get some easy wins. I think some local tournaments, Erberth should just go in and rekindle that passion, that fire for winning, because something needs to be fixed. And I think a few medals might help the ego a little bit.
I agree with that. Obviously it seems like it could be something mental going on with him. There's the potential that it could be an injury. We never know. A lot of these taps have been when his neck or his upper torso has been compromised. So there could always be that. But I do think it's important to resolve this sooner rather than later, because you start to see a snowball effect. This is the 3rd time that we've seen him tap in these types of situations. Could this be the decline of one of the greatest competitors? That's what
and he's got the potential to go on to become one of the greatest.
He's super young,
right?
you know, and I would like to see someone in the heavier ranks who can challenge Buchecha. You know, someone who can get out there, be confident, and go at Buchecha, not somebody who, you know, loses position and then taps out. So.
I mean, like, you know, he's right there. He's taken Buchecha to the limit in previous matches. You know, he's yet to get a win over him. Of course, that's no mean feat, right?
Right.
But he's there. He's among the current crop of generation, the current kind of black belt competitors that we got, who can go out there and at least give Buchecha a competitive match. And I'm not saying I want to see Buchecha lose, but I want to see him challenged.
Exactly.
Right? So we need guys like Erberth to keep things firing. So, well, let's hope that he does figure it out.